I want to know, does this affect your decision on which discipline section you want to take? Knowing that the quarter one TCP pass rate is much higher than BAR and ISC. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. So the quarter one 2024 CPA Evolution pass rates were released for each section of the CPA exams, and I actually didn't even know they were released. Someone commented on one of my videos and told me they were released, and they wanted me to make a kind of reaction, my thoughts video about the pass rates. So if you do not know what the pass rates are for the first round of the CPA Evolution exams, I will put it on the screen right here. These are the pass rates for quarter one, and just as a comparison, I'm going to put in the cumulative 2023 pass rates for each section of the CPA exams right here. And as you can see, if you compare the two, the pass rates are actually pretty similar on the CPA Evolution exam compared to the old CPA exam. But why does TCP have over an 80% pass rate? I think that is the highest pass rate I've ever seen on any section of the CPA exams of any quarter. So I actually was reading a Reddit forum on this, and someone said that only 650 people chose to take TCP in quarter one. Please do not quote me on that. It's literally something that someone just wrote on the internet, so I'm not sure if that's 100% true or not. But assuming that is true, I think that maybe more people chose to take BAR and ISC in quarter one. And so the actual number of people who passed BAR, ISC, and TCP were the same, but because less people might have chosen to take TCP, that's why that percentage is higher, but the number of people who actually pass each of the disciplines isn't higher. I hope that's making sense. But I don't know, does this affect your decision on which discipline section you guys would want to take? If you saw some of my previous videos about the CPA Evolution, I did say that out of the three disciplines, I would personally choose to take BAR, but looking at the pass rates now, I think maybe TCP is the right way to go. But then again, you have to remember that this is only for one quarter. We don't have a cumulative for the entire year of 2024. And so we really can't compare it to anything else. There are some quarters where a certain section of the exam has a really high pass rate, but then the next quarter it could drop way down. For example, BEC. I think the BEC pass rate was only like 38% in quarter four, but usually BEC has like a 55 to 60% pass rate. And I think the pass rate for BEC was really low because maybe a lot of people chose to take BEC in quarter four so that they could get that out of the way and not have to take one of the discipline sections in 2024. So on this Reddit forum, I actually saw someone say that they took reg in 2023 and then they took TCP in quarter one of 2024. And they said that it was basically taking the same exam twice, because before the CPA Evolution changes on reg, there were a lot of topics that are now on TCP that was on reg. So he studied all the TCP stuff and the reg stuff, and then when he took TCP, that's just the harder information that was on the reg exam. So I don't know, because I did pass reg on my first try with an 85, and I did not think that the reg material was very easy for me. I struggled a lot with business entity tax, and you cannot pass reg without mastering business entity tax. And I say that reg was actually the hardest material for me, but I think the hardest exam for me was actually FAR. So I mean, I was able to pass the previous reg exam that had all that hard TCP stuff on it. So maybe I wouldn't struggle that much if I chose to take TCP. So maybe that would have been the better option for me compared to taking BAR, because I did take FAR twice. And also on this Reddit forum, I did say that yes, there is less information on FAR, but because there's less information, the AICPA is actually going more in depth on all the topics that are on FAR. So I don't know, maybe looking at these results, I wouldn't choose to take BAR as my discipline section. It's a pretty hard toss-up, but I already passed my CPA exam, so I don't have to choose a section.
Hey guys, so if you saw my previous videos that I made about the CPA evolution earlier this year, I did say how maybe you should consider not taking FAR first, because it seems like a lot of the harder information is going to be moved to the BAR section, and maybe you should consider taking audit first because not much is changing on the audit exam, and it was speculated that audit would probably be the hardest section of the CPA exams now. But looking at the pass rates from Q1, I don't think that's true because FAR still has the lowest pass rate. So I don't think it got easier, and if I knew what the pass rates were when I made those videos, I don't think I would have said that. So after knowing this first round of pass rates, I would say definitely take FAR first because it is the foundation of accounting, and then take audit because it kind of builds from FAR, and you will need to use some of the FAR knowledge to pass the audit exam. So we obviously only have 1 quarter pass rates. I don't know if these pass rates are going to stay consistent. I guess we'll just have to see by the end of 2024 when we have more data on what the pass rates are. But for now, I would say definitely scratch what I said in my previous videos about not taking FAR first. After knowing the Q1 results, I don't think it's a good idea for you to not take it first anymore.
So that's the thing about the CPA evolution, that now that you do have a choice on what you want to take as your 4th section of the exams, I think a lot of people are going to struggle on what they're going to take because maybe what they're good at isn't necessarily what is going to have the highest pass rate. And if you're in that situation, that's hard because do you go off of what you're good at or do you go off of what has the higher pass rate? I think personally, I would probably go off of what the higher pass rate is. And I say that very lightly because I'm already finished my CPA exams, so I don't actually have to make that choice. I think that made it a lot easier on the old CPA exams because you don't get to choose what sections you want to take. There's 4 sections and you got to pass all 4 sections. So it makes it a lot more universal, but now that you do have the choice, I don't know if I would like it as much. I also read on this Reddit forum some people speculating that a lot of tax professionals chose to take TCP in Q1 before tax season, and so that's why the pass rate was really high, is because they actually are tax professionals. I also did read on this Reddit forum some people saying that the AICPA is not going to keep the pass rate for TCP at 82% by the end of 2024. I don't know how true that is. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. I do think that the AICPA should make it so that each of the discipline sections have a similar pass rate so that people aren't inclined to just pick a section just because the pass rate is so much higher. That means that more people are going to choose the section that has the much higher pass rate. And then once more people choose to take that section, they got to make that pass rate lower because they can't let that many people pass. And then it's going to make the other discipline sections have a higher pass rate. And then it's just this whole game that goes back and forth. So I don't know. I want to know, does this affect your decision on which discipline section you want to take? Knowing that the Q1 TCP pass rate is much higher than BAR and ISC. Also, do you think that the pass rate for TCP is going to stay that high, or do you think that the AICPA will find some way to lower it so that it has a similar pass rate as BAR and ISC? That is it for this video. I know it was very rambly, but if you enjoyed it, definitely subscribe, turn on the bell notification, give this video a thumbs up. I'm trying to reach some subscriber goals this year. It literally takes a second for you, but it means the world to me. Have a great day or night, and I will talk to you guys next time.